Friday. Ash and Kaylee here. We're going to be talking about juicing today. So like juicing, smoothies, cold pressed juice, basically anything that you can drink that's not alcohol. So Kaylee's going to be doing a lot of chatting, but I'm going to start making my green juice, which is a variation of Kimberly Snyder's, which, oops, I forgot to put that in the notes. I'll put it above after the video. So I'm going to start prepping it, and I'm going to say what ingredients I'm putting in, and Kelly's going to talk about them, and then why we are including them in the smoothie. So first, I'm actually going to start with a little bit of water, so excuse me. So with this, I add about like 1 to 2 cups of water, just enough to make it nice liquidy. Yeah, liquidy and smooth. So that should be good for now. Okay. Now with Kimberly Snyder's juice that we often recommend on Royally Fit Online, they don't call for a cucumber, but I love putting a cucumber in. I find it's really refreshing. So 1 full cucumber.
So cucumber is awesome because it can really help reduce inflammation. And by now we all know that inflammation is the cause of pretty much every disease. It's also high in fiber and then really high in water content. So it's going to help get your water intake up.
Yep, so that's good. I'm putting 1 full, green apple. Oopsies.
Got it. So obviously you guys know with apple, it's again high in fiber. It's got tons of different antioxidants in it as well. I made some notes. What else do we have? It's good for preventing disease. So diseases like cancer, diabetes, and Parkinson's. It's also good for people that have IBS because of the high fiber content. So with IBS, a lot of the times you get kind of chronic diarrhea. So this with the high fiber can actually help slow down that process. And then lastly, I have
pear in there too, yeah.
Oh yeah, and pear is basically the same type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just also really good for detoxifying your liver and boosting your immunity.
Yeah, and I saw brushing your teeth. Is that right? Is that what you put? Brush your teeth?
No.
Oh,
it says boost.
Well, an apple a day does help with teeth, or with your teeth.
It does.
Whoops. So I can't read your writing. Sorry.
So, what's next?
I'm going to be putting in romaine next, and a little bit. I'll put the spinach in after. But yeah, I actually put a full head of that romaine in. And the romaine hearts, I guess they're called. I put the full head of that. And then I'm going to put the spinach in after just because it'll be easier to blend. Did you want to talk about the romaine?
Yeah, so romaine again is high in fiber. It's also high in antioxidants, so it's got vitamins like A and C. So this is going to be great for boosting your immune system. Basically everything that's going in here is going to be good for boosting your immune system. But again, just the fiber and water content as well.
Yep. And then I love putting ginger in. So I like putting ginger in. I just cut 1 inch of the ginger root. I don't like peel it or anything. I just throw it in there. And like a squeeze
of lemon. So lemon is really great for detoxifying the liver. The ginger is really good for anything that has to do with your stomach being upset. So if you're ever feeling nauseous, one of the things that I do at home is I'll just literally chop up slices of ginger, put it in hot water, and let it steep for as long as I can. And then the ginger is going to help to settle that nauseous stomach. It's also good for debloating as well. So basically anything you can think of that has digestive upset, the ginger is going to be good for.
Yeah, for sure. Which is constantly for me, so ginger all the time. I'm going to blend this, and then we're going to add in the spinach and the herbs.
Oh, it's so much quieter than mine. Oh, God, I need a Vitamix. Look at that go.
Oh, my God, that's pretty awesome. We're going to watch this. You know you're nerdy when you love juicing, and you get really excited.
All I want
about
for Christmas is a Vitamix. That's like it. And I'll be very
Nothing
happy.
else.
So she's adding in, we got parsley for today.
Yeah, and I even add in, sorry to cut you off, I even add in this.
The
even
stems.
the stems, I'm going to say the sticks.
So
yeah.
you can play with the herbs that you use. You should always try to add some. Parsley's amazing. Cilantro is another really good one. I don't actually like the taste of cilantro. I'm that person. You know, those people that don't like it. So I like it in my smoothies because I can tolerate it then. So what's really important about using these herbs is that they actually bind heavy metals that are accumulated in your body together. So just from breathing the polluted air, from drinking water, which has, you know, things like lead in it, from when you're consuming fish that are high in mercury, all that metal gets into your body and like gets deep into your tissues. So essentially when you have this, it's going to help pull all the metals from your tissues and bind it together as one, and then it can be eliminated through your poop.
Perfect. Which is amazing. I was actually just telling Kelly before we did the Facebook Live that years and years ago when I started seeing a naturopath, and he did a blood I don't know, test on me and like was basically trying to figure out what was wrong with me. I had like insanely high mercury level. Like he's like, this is ridiculous, Ashley.
Scary.
And he's like, what are you doing? And I was having tuna fish from a can every day. Like back when it became popular to have the tuna fish that was flavored.
They were so good though.
They were so good and convenient, and I worked at General Motors and stuff at the time, so it was like super convenient because I didn't have to warm it up. But yeah, really, really high mercury levels, which I'm confident had a pretty big influence on my health at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that, and then if you had like they used to do it in the dentist when you get the cavities, it used to have mercury filling.
Yeah.
So they don't do that anymore. But this is a really great way to help get those metals out of you, which is super important.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to blend this up again. Measure anything. I put the 1 cucumber, 1 apple, 1 pear, half a lemon, and then as far as the greens go, I just shove as much as I can get in there. So I could even put more in there right now, but I kind of like that consistency, so I'm going to keep it as is. But I threw the 1 heart of romaine, or romaine heart, whatever you want to call it, and I threw, like, if you notice, like a couple handfuls, basically as much as I could get in there. And then the same thing with the parsley. I just kind of threw that in there like that as well.
So one thing I would add is that you don't need to follow the same, like use the same ingredients every single day. In fact, I encourage you to vary them. Every single green or every single vegetable has different parts to it. It has different, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. So the more that you can get into your body, the better. And you want a big variety of it. So instead of using spinach, maybe the next day try kale. Maybe try some watercress, add in extra cilantro. Try like using the beet greens, things like that, celery leaves. So try to get a huge variety so that you're always getting different vitamins and minerals, so you're always getting different nutrition levels.
Yeah, totally. Like today, I didn't have celery, so I didn't throw celery in. And then, like this is basically kind of like the guts, but like things are added into it. It really depends on what I have in my fridge and what else I want to get rid of. And so it's pretty flexible. The main thing for me is the greens.
Yeah. And one thing I'll note, and I'm not an expert on this topic by any means, but this is the bare minimum that I know, is that if you are someone that has had kidney stones a lot, and we were talking about this earlier, you actually don't want to have spinach every day. You probably want to have it about once every 3 days because it's high in oxalates. So other foods that are high in oxalates, I believe, are like strawberries and chocolate, all the good things. But if it is something that you've had in the past, look into that. It's something that you don't want to have every single day is the spinach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's have a little bit of green juice, and then we're going to talk more. Cheers.
Yes, cheers. That's a good amount of ginger.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I could even take a little bit more. I like it when it's like sharp.
You like it spicy.
I do. So one question that we get a lot is, what blender should I get? Should I juice? Should I get the Vitamix? Should I get the Ninja? So I thought it would be really good to talk about the differences. So right now, this is actually technically, even though I call it my green juice, this is actually a green smoothie. And then there's juicing that you do with the juicer. And then there's also cold pressed juices that you're finding more at stores, like even like coffee shops and stuff. Yeah. So like local cold pressed juice. So I'm going to let Kelly go into that. She knows a little bit more, but kind of explain the differences and why you would want to choose one over the other.
Okay, so first off, both are fantastic. Okay, one doesn't necessarily trump the other. They're both amazing. So what juicing does is it removes the fiber, and a lot of people get scared of that when they hear that I'm not going to get the fiber and it's going to spike my blood sugar. So the best way with juicing, I find, is to do it on an empty stomach. Of course, you can do it at any time, but when you have it on an empty stomach, it doesn't have to battle with anything. There's nothing to digest. It's just going to go straight through you, which means it's going to go straight into your body and give you the max amount of nutrients as quickly as possible. Okay? So when you are doing the smoothie and you have the fiber, which again is also wonderful, it's going to slow down the process. Your digestive system is actually working a little bit harder. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It's still going to be a lot easier than if you were to just eat the apple. It's still broken down and making it easier, but it's just a bit of a slower release, which means it's not going to spike your insulin levels as quickly. So if you are going to do juice, make sure that you always add vegetables. If you just do fruit, if you were just to do like a thing of apple juice and add some pineapple and this and that and the other thing, it's going to have too much sugar, and it's going to cause your sugar to rise so quickly, and then it'll drop really quickly. So if you can add the greens and stuff into it, it'll slow that process down. But the big difference is that one just gives you a direct hit of nutrients. It's really letting your body rest and relax while it digests. where with the smoothie, it takes a little bit longer. But they're both wonderful. I do both. I play with them both all the time. I think that's the best bet, is to incorporate both.
Yeah. See, I don't have a juicer, but I do get cold pressed juices sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do both. But as Kelly was saying earlier, anybody who has any sort of like IBS type symptoms, which I grew up with, fiber is very important. So I actually find that this feels really nice on my stomach. I like to have this regularly. And I like the juice, honestly, as almost like a little pick-me-up throughout the day.
Yeah.
So just do what works for you, but both have benefits, like Kelly said, and it really depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah, like I said, I vary. Like some days I'll start my day with juice, sometimes I do with a smoothie. Sometimes I'll just have a juice in the afternoon. There's no right or wrong time. It's just a little bit easier on your body if you have it on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Exactly. And that's what we promote on Really Fit Online.
Yeah. And if we're talking about like cold press, like basically cold press just means that the ingredients aren't being heated up. So in a lot of, unfortunately, like cheaper blenders and juicers, which is why I need to get the Vitamix, it heats the things up, like the vegetables and stuff up as it's breaking it down, which causes it to lose some of its nutritional value. So it doesn't have as much vitamins and minerals in it. So if you can get the cold press, it just means it's not being heated and there's less oxygen going into it. So it's just a little bit, like, I guess, more stable. But it doesn't mean that you can only have cold press. Of course, juicing is still better than not juicing and stuff like that, but that's just kind of the difference with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. And is there anything else that we wanted to touch on?
I know that a lot of the times I've talked about free radical damage, and I've had a lot of people say, like, okay, well, what is that? And again, I'm no expert, but I'll break it down to you pretty simple. Basically, free radical damage, and it's a totally normal thing to have in your body. Your body always has free radicals. By just breathing, when you work out, you create free radicals, and they actually do have some important functions. I think one of the ones that I was reading is that they actually, like the white blood cells, like use them to kill off invaders or something, but you're supposed to have them. You just don't want to have a lot of them. So basically what a free radical is, it's like an uncharged electron in your body. So that means that like it hasn't, it's not like stable. So it's kind of bouncing around and it's missing an electron on its outer valence shell. I think I'm wording it all right.
Yes, makes sense, yeah.
Anyway, so it's bouncing around and it wreaks havoc on your body. And one of the main things that it does is, if for a vanity purpose, is it can actually speed up the process of aging. But it has a ton of different things it does to you that aren't good if you have too many. And this is where antioxidants come in. So antioxidants will come in and donate one of their electrons to make the free radical stable. Okay, but the antioxidant doesn't become unstable by donating. It keeps working. It does its thing. It doesn't need those extra atoms or electrons, sorry. So it's helping to stabilize. So that's why getting antioxidants is so important and why it's amazing for disease prevention and for anti-aging effects. It's just going to help reduce the amount of free radical damage that you have in the body. And free radicals are caused by, like I said, pollution, everything. Like smoking, alcohol, the food that you're eating, water, tons of, for sure with water, like processed foods, and the chemicals that are added to the foods and stuff like that. So that's why we're getting bombarded with free radical damage all the time now. So you really got to up the antioxidants.
Yep, perfect. Yeah, so we actually, we really push it on Really Fit Online, and we encourage our girls to wake up in the morning and have lemon water and green juice, so they get like that punch of antioxidants, that punch of like nutrients, vitamins, everything, and it's easy on their digestion before they start having food. So it's almost like a gentle way of encouraging your body to detox all the time.
And it boosts your energy. It's like having a coffee.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and a lot of girls say that. They're like, I can't believe how much energy I have, and I can't believe how much I'm pooping.
Yes, it'll make you poop. Yeah. And once you stop doing it, you'll quickly notice that your energy depletes, that you crave the greens. Yeah. People always like, doesn't it taste bad? First off, we both like it, but you also can train yourself to like it. Yeah. So maybe it's too much off the beginning to have all the greens and the ginger, and it's just, you can't do it. Ease into it. Start by adding extra fruit, and just slowly, each week add a little bit less fruit and a little bit more greens, and just make it to your palate. Like, it doesn't have to just be greens all the time. Like, sometimes I will do like a berry and beet smoothie or something like that. It doesn't have to always be greens. Play around with it, like I said, and get as many vitamins and minerals and antioxidants in your body as you can.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so for any of you guys that want to learn more, we're actually, we have a new meal plan coming out on Sunday for Royally Fit Online. So I can add that in the note above, or like the link above where it's the description for the video. So we have that. Your first meal plan's coming on Sunday. Then our Royally Fit Online stuff starts on Monday for October. And then we also have classes. So if you're local in Whitby or Bowmanville, we have classes starting next week as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, thanks for watching, guys. We hope that you have a wonderful Friday, regardless of the rain. And yeah, let us know if you had any more questions. We'll pop on here for the next 24 hours and see if you guys have anything to say. So, hey, Sabrina, how's it going? How do you feel about, what does that say?
How do you feel about kefir?
Oh.
So kefir actually is an amazing product. It's very, very high in probiotics. So if you're trying to get your probiotics up, that's great. The only downside is that most kefir is made, I know I'm pretty sure I have like spinach in my teeth right now. I apologize if I do. But most kefir is made from cow's milk. So obviously we're not big on the cow's milk front. But there actually is a lot of other options now. So I know that they have coconut kefir. I've seen a few other ones come out. So if you look in the health food section of most stores, or you go to an actual health food store, you will be able to find ones that are dairy free. I've seen a few recipes about making your own with like coconut water and stuff. I haven't tried it yet, but it's something definitely to look into.
Yeah, definitely has a lot of benefits, but if you want to, obviously for many reasons, which is a completely different Facebook Live, we don't really promote cow's dairy. So, but if you want to look for the other ones, there's actually a couple good health food stores in Whitby, Sabrina, that might have them. There's one off of Fixin, and then there's also one actually close by. It's in the Melanie Prignell's Plaza, and then there's also one right beside the Little Organic Kitchen.
Yeah, I like that one. That's a good health store.
Yeah, so if one's going to have it, I would say that one would probably be likely, or one of those two would probably be likely.
But there are other ways you can get probiotics, obviously, just by taking a probiotic daily.
Yeah.
And then things like kombucha, sauerkraut, miso, and oh, what's the other one I'm thinking about that's similar to sauerkraut?
I don't
With
know.
the red cabbage.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
yes, I do, but I can't say the name. I know exactly.
I think it starts with a K too.
Oh, no. It's not
Kimchi.
right. Oh,
Kimchi.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
that's what I was looking for.
I wouldn't have said that.
So there's a lot of other things you can get into your body that have probiotics as well. I think there's another question. Oh, beets. I don't.
What about it? what about it?
Oh, kimchi. Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
kimchi. Yeah, awesome.
Oh,
Thank
is
you.
there beet? Is that what it is? Maybe it's beets and not
maybe
red
it is.
cabbage. I can't remember. Drawing a blank. Sorry.
That makes sense if it's beets, actually, because sauerkraut is cabbage.
Maybe that's where I'm getting my head mixed up.
That makes sense.
Also, for next week, I think we are going to try to switch up our topic. We've had a lot of requests about intermittent fasting in the last week. It's funny, Ash and I actually started talking about it at the beginning of the month, about how we wanted to do a Facebook Live about it and start incorporating it into some of the plans and stuff like that. So it's really funny that you guys have, like, literally this week had 3 different people come up to us and ask us about it. So hoping to get that for you next week. I think we should be able to. We've been doing lots of research and testing it out on ourselves and stuff like that. Feeling good. I'm enjoying it.
Yep, yeah, I don't mind it. I'm actually doing better than I thought. I thought I was really going to struggle with it because I really like to eat something early in the morning. So it's been a bit of a struggle for me mentally, but physically I've actually felt better than I thought.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, and let us know if you guys have any other requests for topics. So we're still going to be planning, I guess we're not planning until November now, but we have everything planned for October. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Let's just make sure there's nothing else we missed. Nope, that's all. But I hope everyone has a wonderful Friday, and we will see you guys next week. We'll see you on Wednesday and Friday.
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Bye.